Look, Grand Theft Auto is an amazing game series, but there's some things we all didn't really pay attention to or care about. And today in this video, I'm going to go over 10 things wrong with the GTA series we all chose to ignore. Welcome back to Grand Theft Maniac. Let's get into the video. Number 10, aircraft controls. San Andreas introduced being able to fly in planes and choppers, and I remember being super excited for that, but then I got in one. I'm going to be straight with my opinion here. Flying in the GTA games is terrible. For some reason, they decided that you need to use the shoulder buttons to balance out the plane when flying, and it feels so darn awkward. There's a mission in San Andreas that is a flying school, and it's so tough strictly because of the controls. GTA 5 didn't fix the controls, by the way.
Left analog stick. So to move up and down, you just want to do the opposite direction. So for instance, if you want to go down, you just want to press the left.
Number 9, lack of popular pop music. I used to hate pop music, but as the years have gone by, I've really come to appreciate it. But I guess Rockstar has stole me from high school. They do have some pop music, but it seems that classic rock and metal music are the main staples of the franchise show. The Xbox One and PS4 release of GTA 5 added more music, and it was mainly pop. Vice City is probably the game that has had the most pop music in it, and that's because it's based in the 80s.
Additional weight to a work of fiction, such is the case for this song, featured on the Los Santos rock radio station in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Number 8, easy mission fails. Some missions in these games have very easy methods for failing them, so let's dive into it a bit more. It's so annoying when you are depending on the AI and they go down and you fail the mission when you were doing things right. The early games also let to put missions in them that had you trailing someone and getting spotted was pretty easy, and that was an instant fail. I also want to shout out a mission in GTA 5 where you parachute onto a roof, and if you miss, it's a fail. Super fun.
Holy fuck shit, bro! Dad, there's a dude! Dad, help! Dad!
Number 7, overall weak stories. I love the GTA games and they'll have a very memorable characters, but all the games suffer from the overall story not being amazing. They all focus on crime and they all borrow from popular movies. I would argue that GTA 4 has the best story. Vice City is basically Scarface and GTA 5 is pretty much a Martin Scorsese movie. Seeing what all the characters do throughout the games is very interesting, but they all have endings that are just kind of there. GTA 5 has an ending that felt very rushed and anticlimactic.
Ain't you got enough women of your own? Man, I ain't even gonna answer that. I got this cabron making move on her the other week. Some balas.
Number 6, lack of female characters. Something that people have wanted for a while, myself included, is to have a female playable character, because the female characters in these games are very secondary. GTA 4 and 5 got better about having female quest givers and heist members, but it still wasn't enough. Sadie in Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably the best female character that Rockstar has ever made, and we need more like her. I think GTA 6, they need to go ahead and pull the trigger and make the main character female, or do what Assassin's Creed Odyssey did and let us choose.
Makeup, clothing options that the guys just simply don't have, etc. But there's still a lot of restrictions. Now, one of the things that
5, mission checkpoints. This is strictly just dealing with the PS2 era games, because man, failing a mission in those games led to the most frustrating moments in gaming for me for sure. There were no mid-mission checkpoints until GTA 4, and it was a godsend. Some of the missions in San Andreas were super long, and you would lose like 45 minutes of progress when you would fail them. Keep in mind, with the shooting being rough, failing missions happen pretty often. It's crazy that they made 3 games on the PS2 without mission checkpoints. Number 4, racing stinks. For a game series called Grand Theft Auto, you would think that the cars would feel good and maybe the racing would be cool. No, the racing isn't good. I'll give them credit that you are normally only required to do 1 racing mission in the game, and it's usually pretty easy. Franklin's ability in GTA 5 does make racing pretty fun. It just seems that the vehicles in these games were meant to be in races, yet they put side missions with races in all these games. Number 3, some missions are bad. Most missions in the GTA games are fun and you are doing cool stuff, and doing cool stuff is what I like to do in games. Well, sometimes there are missions in these games like the Dodo mission in Vice City, and they make me want to throw my controller. Also, any mission when you have to drive a specific vehicle to a certain point without it taking any damage is super annoying, and really any mission when you have to get into a shootout in the PS2 era games is annoying. Number 2, odd controls. Something that has plagued the series since GTA 3 has been the awkward controls they went for. Even though I think GTA 5 is one of the greatest games ever made, the controls are still weird. You pretty much have to use every button on the controller. I will say the modern games did add using the triggers to aim weapons finally, and that was nice. There's just something about the way the characters move that just feels off to me, and I'm guessing that has to do with them wanting a realistic feel. I'm not sure. Number 1, causing mayhem doesn't make sense. To me, having the characters going nuts and cause mayhem in the city is something that has never made sense. I get that it's a game, but most of the characters are trying to get out of the life, but they seem to all enjoy taking out ways of cops. Niko Bellic in GTA 4 is a perfect example of this. He is trying to reform his life, but is cool doing a ton of crime and going on sprees. Trevor in GTA 5 was finally a character that existed that causing chaos made sense with. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.